Hello, you're watching Traveling with Grecas. This is part 2 of our trip to Florida and the Bahamas.
We started the morning off by having breakfast delivered to our room, and we ate right from our balcony. This day was a perfect day at Cococay. As soon as the captain gave the orders that we could go ashore, we ran for it. We were some of the first people off the ship. Cococay has so much to offer. No matter what you like, there will be something you will enjoy. From water park, to lounges, to pools, snorkeling, volleyball, as well as ton of food options.
Now, I really wanted to try out the water park, and normally Anastasia would too, but the doctors said she had to stay from high intense ride, so I decided to surprise her with a beach bed. Since we were the first ones off the ship, she was able to enjoy the empty beach for about an hour before the crowds really came in. While she was enjoying reading her book, I ran over to the water park and rode as many water slides as I could before the lines started to get long. I was able to ride every slide at least once, except the couple that had to have at least 3 people on a tube. But my favorite slides were the Dueling Demons and Daredevil's Peak. Dueling Demons was a slide I've always wanted to try because it has a trapdoor falling out from underneath you to start the slide. Not only is it a lot of fun, but it also made me feel like I was in the Emperor's New Groove.
Pull the lever, Crunk.
The Dueling Demons almost always had a short line as well. I think because most of the people there were too scared of it, and because it's 2 slides, any line you had to wait in was fairly fast. Daredevil's Peak was also an amazing water slide. This is the tallest water slide in North America, being 135 feet tall and 764 feet long. There were only 2 downsides to the slide. One is the amount of stairs to get there. It was a feat in itself just to make it to the top. And the second is that the slide is so long, even a short line for the slide would make it feel like you were waiting forever. After about 2 hours of being in the water park, the line started to get kind of long, so I headed back to the beach bed.
We originally had a snorkeling tour set up for the next day of our cruise, but it ended up being cancelled, so we decided to snorkel at Cococay instead. We were able to rent snorkel equipment right on the beach. Now test your equipment before you go out, because the inflatable life vest they gave Alex actually had a leak in it, so it didn't properly work. But he didn't figure it out until he was deep in the water. Luckily, he's a strong swimmer, so it wasn't a huge deal for him, but it is still best to be safe. The snorkeling here was great. They had multiple platforms to take breaks, and near each platform they have put decorations in the water that help attract fish. Once we were done with snorkeling, we decided to explore this island, grabbing some food, doing some shopping, and just hanging out enjoying our beach bed.
When it was almost time to go back on the ship, I ran back to the water park to hit my favorite slides a few more times while the wait times were getting low again since most people had already left. Once back on the ship, they had decorated the ship for Christmas. We grabbed some pizza and headed to our balcony for our departure. Shortly after leaving port, my wife started to feel motion sick, so she took some Dramamine and took a nap. While she was sleeping, I headed out to explore the ship some more. I caught some of the shows, as well as some of the adult-rated shows, and I eventually headed to the hot tub where I grabbed a drink, and I had the whole place to myself. Then I grabbed some more pizza and headed back out to eat on our balcony before going to bed myself.
This was our day in Nassau. We have been to Nassau twice in the past. Normally we head to the Atlantis and then spend some time shopping before heading back to the ship. But due to the time we were at the island, it didn't make sense for us to go to Atlantis because we would be there for maybe 2 hours by the time water park opened before we would need to go back. So we decided to just check out the local shopping areas. It was a drastic change from the last time we went. Most of Nassau was still impacted by COVID, with a lot of places still not being reopened. Now, even in the past, the store's owners were always a little aggressive trying to sell, but now it was extreme, and they would get very angry at you if you did not want to buy anything from them. It was not a pleasant experience at all.
We decided to grab some food at Sharky's because it was always something we wanted to try. We then headed back onto the ship, hoping to do a lot of activities on the ship without large crowds. But it seems like most of the people had the same exact idea that we did. We were able to play some putt-putt and just relax at the pool. Before heading out to dinner, we got in line to get our tickets so that we could go ice skating. And if that's something you want to do, I recommend getting there super early because we were the last ones to get tickets and we showed up a few minutes before they started handing them out.
After the dinner, we caught the Grease Broadway show. It was extremely well done, and we both absolutely loved the performance. After the show, we headed off to our ice skating reservation. It was a lot of fun as well. Most of people in our group did not know how to skate, but it was really cool knowing you're ice skating on the middle of the ocean.
After skating, we headed out to our first silent disco. We both really enjoyed it because it was just such a weird experience for us. Afterwards, we grabbed some ice cream and some more pizza to enjoy on our balcony for our last few hours on the ship. That's it for this video. Stay tuned for part 3. Bye-bye for now.